listening to episode 3 of the Christmas Biz Podcast featuring Max and Parker.
The golden microphone is on.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the third episode of the Christmas Biz Podcast. It's been a while. Today I've got a special guest, Parker.
Hey everybody.
So Parker works with me at RBC, which is Roblox Broadcasting Corporation. He has his own show on Wave 103.7, our own little radio station. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I have been doing broadcasting for really a long time now. It's been probably 4 years, and I've basically done it all on the platform. I've done talk shows, news shows, anything you can imagine, game shows, hosted entertainment shows. Anything you can imagine I've done. And I've been so lucky to have the career that I've had on the platform to where now basically I've tried everything. I mean, I've really done everything. Everybody's gave me the opportunity to join the Wave and do my own radio show. I was like, oh, I have to do this because, well, I haven't done it before. And now I can fully say that I've done the full circle of the media landscape here on the platform. And it's funny because I didn't even plan on going into media on the platform. Sorry, I'm cutting out here, but on the platform, I didn't really plan on going into media. In fact, I joined the platform and I worked at a school and I was a teacher on Roblox out of school. And then one day I was teaching criminal justice, I believe, and one day somebody sent me the link to this political role play group, kind of like a government group. It was like an American government group, whatever. And I joined it and I was just looking around, and then I noticed a little news broadcast that was happening. Somebody just did like a little news broadcast recapping the news of the day in this like political group. And I was like, maybe I should apply. So I applied and I got the job as a national correspondent for the news company. And from there, I've worked my way up. After I was a correspondent, I got my own show. I hosted a news show. And then from there, it just took off. And then I got a talk show. Then I did a game show. And it's just going off from there. And now I'm one of the biggest host on the platform there is right now.
So, what a story, geez. So what's been the highlight of your career so far? Radio, entertainment, like presenting, or?
Honestly, I don't. That's a good question because I've never really thought of it as like a highlight of my career. Every single time I book a new gig, I consider it a highlight because I'm just so lucky to do it. Because what a lot of people don't know, and I'm sure you know this, it's really hard to produce high-quality shows, especially on a virtual platform. I know it's probably easier to do a podcast, but I've been doing these on Roblox for a long time. It takes a lot of work and a lot of planning and execution, building, designing the shows that you do. It is very hard. So most people don't even make it past maybe being a correspondent on a news or maybe not even getting into the industry at all because it's so hard to break into it. So I think the highlight is just getting to the point where I am right now. I mean, I broke into it. I think I started getting into it in maybe 2020. It's almost been 4 years now. And I mean, I'm just so lucky to have worked so hard to get to where I am now because it's just crazy. The highlight, I think I would say my highlight or like my big break, quote unquote, that really exposed me to everybody is when I booked my first talk show. It was on a network called OBC, and they were looking for a replacement for a host that resigned a few weeks ago. And I was just sitting in the server one day, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, we're looking into a possible..." I didn't even know that they knew who I was. Somehow they found out who I was from my news programming background because they were one of their board of directors was in the news business and the other side for an existing network. And they're like, "Hey, would you be interested in auditioning to fill the role of this open show?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." So I auditioned, I planned out a show, I delivered to the audience, and it ended up being one of the biggest ratings of the year on my premiere date.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow. And what do you plan for the future, like with radio, RBC, or anything? Do you have any plans for the future? Any Christmas-themed episodes?
We'll see. I'm very excited to be getting into radio. Of course, we already did our first show, so if you want to check that out, you can go onto the RBC website and you can find the first show. I will say, we are planning on getting another radio episode out this week, a little Christmas-themed special. We're going to get some guests on there this time, too. It's going to be fun. As far as radio goes, I'm really just learning the ropes as it is right now. I mean, I just joined radio. I just signed the contract for the radio show a couple days ago. We produced our first episode. It did pretty well in the ratings. And now we're coming back with a new one. As far as some other plans, I currently am... also doing a late night show. I've hosted a late night show that's debuting on January 1st. We've been creating it. This is my first time in late night too, so I'm just breaking and doing all new things. 2024 is just all new for me. I am breaking into the late night business, and I'm really excited for that. So I might have to have you on the show as a guest because I want to hear more about your podcast and stuff too.
Yeah, so we've been doing the Biz Podcast here for around 2 years, 2.5 years, but we do the Christmas Biz every year, so this is the third. We do one episode a year in December, maybe two. So this is going to be the third episode, but yeah. And are you thinking of doing any like challenges, like giveaways and whatnot, like to like Roblox giveaways or anything on the radio?
Yes, so something that's going to be special for our Christmas show is that we're only going to be playing Christmas music. That's going to be all the partners' playlists ranking the top 4 Christmas songs up the playlist. If you haven't seen the show, one of the things that's unique about our show is every episode is a countdown. So I'll pick the top 4 songs that I've been listening to for the week, throw them in a countdown, and rank them up from 4 to 1, and 1 being the number 1 song on the playlist for the week. So that's just a little creative thing that I do. And yeah, we'll be doing all Christmas songs. Hopefully, do a couple Christmas games here and there, and give away some Robux. Who knows? But it's just gonna be a great time. We're gonna have some guests. So yeah, it's gonna be a great episode. I can't wait for all you to see.
Wow, sounds great. Moving on to Christmas. What do you love about Christmas? Is it just like the season, the decorations, or?
I pretty much love everything about it. I mean, I love being with my family. I love just hanging out and stuff. I love the cold weathers, which I know is different for you living in Australia, which I want to talk to you about that in a second. But yeah, I just love everything about it. The Christmas lights, the Christmas decorations, Christmas food, everything.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, it's very hot here in Australia. It's quite still hot outside today, but yeah, I mean, we've never really had any snow here in Sydney for Christmas, but I mean, I love Christmas as well. Like I only got a few decorations that I could whip up quickly. So, but hoping to decorate the studio a bit more.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I thought was interesting because for the longest time I was like, oh yeah, it's just like it's cold everywhere for Christmas, like, and then you hear all these people in Australia, it's like 100 degrees. I don't know what that is in like Celsius, because I'm from, but it's like 100 degrees there, and I was like, oh. 100 degrees at Christmas, and like, do y'all listen to the Christmas songs that are like, because like like the Christmas song like having a white Christmas, and the Christmas songs are always like about being cold. Like, do y'all still listen to them in Australia and stuff?
Yeah, we listened to basically all the Christmas songs. Last Christmas, White Christmas, every one of those. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference that it's hot here in Australia. I mean, it adds on to it. Like most of us, we always like go to the beach. That's not good. Yeah, lots of us go to the beach on Christmas Day. It's still very hot, but yeah, I mean, we still listen to all those songs. It's basically just as normal as anywhere else, just no snow.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, I'm sure it's weird for you to hear that it's so cold, that it's cold in America, because all we've learned is like how it's been hot in Australia the whole time. So it's just really interesting. And like, just like the school years are out during Christmas, right? So that's something I've never experienced either.
Oh yeah, because we usually take a 2-month break from December to February. And then we go back to school. But I mean, it's I love Christmas. I love opening presents on December 25th morning. I don't know what I'm asking for this year. I still got to decide that. Hopefully it's not too late. We've got 7 days to go. It's the 18th of December here, so
it's really 7 days away. Wow, I haven't even been keeping track.
Yeah, this year has gone very quick. Felt like just the other day that I did the last Christmas Biz podcast, which was last year. So,
I mean,
got any other
crazy.
Got any other questions?
I mean, no, not really. I just think that it's just how amazing is that? Like, we're on two opposite sides of the earth, and you're doing like hot Christmas, cold Christmas. It's just crazy to me, Like, the world is so big.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. What do you usually have for Christmas, like to eat?
My family is kind of strange. A lot of people don't do this, but we usually do like some sort of Mexican food.
Oh wow, wow, very interesting. Yeah, we
What do y'all
we usually
have?
get a ham, Christmas ham, of course, every year. Usually get some prawns, as they say, cook 'em prawns on the barbie, mate. But
Yeah.
yeah, we get salad, maybe some chicken as well. But yeah, I love it. Favorite
That
time of the
sounds,
year.
sounds
Yeah,
good. Yeah, I know. Mine too.
yeah,
Mine too.
yeah. If you want to get back to our radio, what are you expecting for the year? Like with the ratings and everything. Like I think that we RBC is going to put some ratings out as well, some feedback as well. So what are you expecting this year?
Well, see, of course, my always goal is to become as successful as I can doing whatever show that I'm doing. And unfortunately, luckily, I've been lucky to do that with the majority of my shows that I've done. I think that what's going to help with me building the show is my experience in television and then translating it into radio, because I know how to develop a successful show. I've done it for myself. I've done it for multiple people as executive producer. I've done it a lot before, and I think that this is going to help me bring it into the radio show as well. So starting in 2024, I'm going to be trying to produce one episode a week and just creating ideas for the show.
Yeah, sounds great. Have you ever thought of yourself as like a director or someone, or have you always liked to be behind the camera or behind the microphone?
See, this is a very interesting question because I've had the opportunity to produce shows before. Like, I've executive produced different talk shows and other thing in my free time. But the thing that I like, the weird thing that I find about it is that when I'm producing it, I always try to make the show like mine instead of focusing on what they want to do. So I'm more of like the in-person thing. But I will say, whenever it comes to my shows, like if my name is on the show, then I am fully involved. Every single time I sign a contract, I make them put my name in executive producer in, so that I will have control over what I do, because I learned that very, very early on in the industry that if you don't validate and reach out for yourself, they're going to take control of it and it's going to end up like something you do not want to do anymore. And that's happened to me
Yeah.
a few times
Oh
when I
wow.
first started. So I learned from that, always put your name as the creator and director so that you have all control and not give it to somebody else who doesn't follow what you value in a program.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. Totally agree. Yeah. Like I mean, here at TLB, the YouTube group, I mean, we just have a few podcasts. We don't really like have contractors and stuff. But yeah, what's been your biggest project this year? Like biggest like project?
This year, okay, so this year I started, it was actually almost been almost a year. I started, a morning show. It was titled Parker Jackson Live. I started it, I think it was December 28th or something, so it's almost been a full year. And I did that project from December 28th every Sunday, from December 28th all the way to, I believe it was August. And then when my contract ended, I think it was like a 10 or 15 episode contract. I can't remember. My contract ended and I decided to walk out of it, to join late night. And that was probably the biggest project I've done this year. It was the #1 rated morning show on the network, #1 rated probably morning show on the platform, because there's not that many left, you know. We averaged about, I want to say it was about 1,000 viewers a episode, which is pretty good for a Roblox show. So yeah, that's probably my #1 biggest project that I've done. And I've done a few small ones here and there.
Okay. As you said, Parker's playlist usually gets played a lot on the Wave and stuff. So, what kind of music into you? Like genre?
Honestly, that's the cool thing about me, is I don't stick to one genre. If I hear a song that I like, it's going on the radio. I don't care if it's rap. I don't care if it's pop. I don't care if it's country. If it's something that I like and I think it'll appeal to our viewers, then I'm going to play it on the radio, because I want to give my viewers the opportunity to, and I want to introduce them to songs that they might not know about, that they might like. So the playlist depends on every day. Usually what I'll do is I'll take in consideration like the Billboard Hot 200 chart. I'll look at that. I'll look at even like my Spotify recently played, and whichever ones that I think will stick out and make a good radio program, I'll add into the show.
Yeah, sounds great. Do you have any tips if you could give tips to your younger self starting a media career, or anyone starting their media career? What would you say?
Wow, that is an interesting. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that question. That's a good question. I would say you have to go in it. I'll say three things. One, you have to go in it with a hard head and you have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then you're not going to be able to figure out the industry because it's very fast paced and it's very hard to learn. Another thing is I would say you have to work hard. You have to work very hard to get to where you want to be because you can't just walk into a server and say, I want a talk show and get a talk show. You can't just walk into a server and say, I want a radio show and you get a radio show just because they only want the people that they know that are going to succeed because they want to set their networks up to succeed. And also I would say the third thing I would say is build your broadcasting reel. What I mean is like any broadcasting project that you've done before, keep building it up. Save every little thing you've done like on TV, every little thing you've done on radio, save it so that in the future you can show that to people and they'll be like, oh wow, you really get like exactly what I did to get my radio show. I sent the whole reel of all the shows that I've done or the majority of the the best ones that I've done, and they're like, oh, you're great. Well, how are you right here?
Wow. So yeah, that's great. I only joined RBC. Like I'll tell my story. I was only searching around on Roblox, and I just found RBC and I just joined, and then we got here today. So
so it's a funny story how I joined RBC because on one of the corporation owned Twitter pages that my late night shows network is going to be on, there's like a Twitter page that they own. It's like a media news page, and they reposted something about the Star that's on RBC. They reposted like a video of the Star, and I was like, I've never heard of this network before. Let me click on it. Let me look into it. And I joined the server, and like a week or two went by, and I was just like kind of like looking around, seeing what was happening, and then I saw that you were looking for radio presenters, and I was like, I have some free time. I think that I can manage a radio show on top of everything else that I'm doing. I was like, let me go ahead and contact them and see what they have to say. And I contacted you. I sent you my reel, told you about me, and the rest was history. That's how so I actually haven't even been on RBC for like a month.
Oh wow, dude, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Got any different news segments? I know you do Pay Out with Parker on Wave, but have you got any other segments or that you're thinking of?
Yeah, so honestly, the thing is that since the show is so young, we've done one episode. We do the payout, we do the pop, which is bringing you all the pop news. We're going to start adding in interviews, and then I want to start doing some more different games. I want to do I've been researching all these radio shows that have been out there for years in America and across the world, and I think that we're going to try to implement some new games starting in 2024, some new segments starting in 2024, just to bring a new variety to the wave.
Yeah, well, sounds really good. I love the first episode. Let's see. Actually, I'll check how many views it's on. I remember, it was actually really good. It was fun to record as well. Like, it's currently on 60 views, which is not bad. It's pretty.
Wow.
At RBC, our videos average around maybe 60, 70 views. So yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. So
Wow.
here at TLB, our podcasts usually pretty short. They only go for around 18 minutes. So if there's anything else you want to chat about, say so. But otherwise, that really wraps it up here. It's a great episode.
No, yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been an honor to be a guest on here. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to what 2024 has to bring, and I hope you have a great Christmas.
Oh, thank you, you too. Yeah, come on anytime. Yeah, thank you. Have a great Christmas too. Thank you, Parker.
Have a good day.